Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a televangelist.
It's BaptistMan.
What was that we're doing today? Is that promo for Superhero Depends?
No, it's that tribute for Dorisanne Cooper.
Gary Cooper? Isn't he dead?
No, you got your days mixed up again. Put in your hearing aids, BaptistMan. It's that tribute for Dorisanne Cooper. You remember Deacon Ben. You told him you'd do it.
Oh yeah. Okay, that young Dorisanne Cooper from Lakeshore Baptist Church in Waco. I remember now. You know, I have nose hair older than her. Nice kid though. So, we're ready? We're ready? Okay. Let's give it a try. Hello, BaptistMan here, with a word or two about Dorisanne Cooper on the occasion of her departure from Lakeshore Baptist Church for the wilds of Durham, North Carolina, and a new place there as senior pastor at Watts Street Baptist Church. Among Dorisanne's many fine achievements at Lakeshore, I believe I should also point out one accomplishment she may not want to add to her resume, at least not yet. Had it not been for Dorisanne's welcoming nature, the yet-to-be Deacon Ben might not have stayed after walking out of his first service at Lakeshore, might not have joined a church for the first time in 40 years, might not have been in a position to move on to another church in another town when a move became necessary, might not even have become Deacon Ben, and might not have consequently met me, BaptistMan. That's a lot of mights, but it seems appropriate to me that the blame must surely rest almost entirely on Dorisanne's shoulders. How else can you explain this get-up? Oh, sure, you might come up with some other possibly plausible explanations, but I'm not certain you would come up with one more personally entertaining to me. And so, I'm left wondering, does Watts Street Baptist really know what they're getting into? Are they really prepared to risk having me land at their front door? If I were a betting BaptistMan, my money would be on the negative for that one. Now, I feel certain that Dorisanne must have had many other accomplishments at Lakeshore than merely making it possible for a middle-aged kid to feel able to return to church. But I'm not certain I really remember what those are just now. At the same time, that example alone may sum up the breadth and the length and the height and the depth of what Dorisanne brought to Lakeshore back in February 2002, fresh from an assignment as associate pastor in where? Greenville, North Carolina. And now, Waco has the uneasy task of sending her back along a similar path to North Carolina again, where, I've heard, they have a tendency to put signage up along the road to point out patches of wildflowers so you don't mistake them for, I suppose, tame flowers. What I do know is that Dorisanne likes to ask lots of questions. Lots of questions. Let's take a listen to a small sample. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
You know the feeling, don't you? What are the stories from the Bible that bother you the most? Did you know that it was while on a train from New York to Boston that George Gershwin was inspired to compose the major portion of Rhapsody in Blue? Have I ever told you about Walter? Walter refused to have his picture taken. Wouldn't it be nice every now and then to be the person who could readily control the environment around you? You know them, those little boxes on the computer screen that you have to click before you can continue on a particular website. Have you ever prayed for more faith? Or maybe just longed for more? Do you remember when peanut butter came in glass jars, really big glass jars?
We're back. As you could hear, Dorisanne is an inquisitive soul. She was the welcoming voice that planted a little seed in the mind of my counterpart, the not yet Deacon Ben, that just perhaps it was possible after all to return to be part of the community of God. So all that's pretty sappy, but I feel pretty confident in saying that Dorisanne, David, and Adam will be sorely missed by the congregation at Lakeshore. I also feel confident in wishing them Godspeed on this next portion of their journey and in urging them to never allow a break in contact with this family as they move on to expand their family to include the good people of Watt Street Baptist. We will hold that congregation personally responsible for making them feel welcome and remind them of the dire consequences certain to befall them if they do not.
Far beyond what we normally recognize, and who, disguised as Deacon Gathering Guy, monthly encourages those in his congregation to bring more canned goods for the food drive while at the same time fighting a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the Good Samaritan way.
Need I say more? In closing, just let me say,
Now, as you journey from this place, may you find yourself surrounded by the breadth and length and height and depth of God's love for you, now and forever. Amen.